Say Selenium Class 2 Overview of Test Automation Part 2. See chapter Overview of Test Automation. Yesterday we discussed three topics. See Overview of Test Automation. Test Automation. Part 1 discussed yesterday. In this part 1 we discussed three topics. What are the three topics? Can you tell me, Supriya? Three main topics.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Disadvantage of manual testing,
okay. Drawbacks of manual testing.
advantages of automation testing,
Good. Drawbacks of manual testing. Next, advantages of test automation. Advantages of test
test
automation
automation,
or
automation testing,
automated testing. Automated testing.
testing.
Next, third one.
Disadvantages of
Yes.
automated testing.
Disadvantages of test automation or automated testing. Okay. Disadvantages. Next, remaining two topics. See overview of test automation part 2. Fourth one, types of software test tools. Types. This is also general topic. Types of software test tools. Software test tools. Next, see our Selenium is functional and regression test tool. So we need to familiar with functional testing concepts. See just overview of functional testing. Functional testing. Okay. Now I am first taking types of software test tools. Types of software test tools. Just a minute. Types of software test tools. Say we have several software test tools available in the IT industry. We can segregate them into three categories. See we have several test tools available in the IT industry. We can segregate them into three categories. We can segregate them into three categories. Three categories. Okay. Dilpreet, can you hear me? Dilpreet. Pawan. Who is Pawan? Pawan? Hello? Pawan. Use fixed names. I think Madhavi. Madhavi?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool, Madhavi.
Yeah.
Okay. Dilpreet?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Actually, you are only getting the audio problem. Remaining participants getting proper audio. Okay, cool. All of you put mute. See types of software test tools. We have several tools available in the IT industry. We can segregate them into three categories. See, first one, Vendor tools. Vendor tools. See, what are vendor tools? See, some companies develop test tools for commercial use. They sell license and provide technical support to their customers. See, some companies develop test tools. Some companies develop test tools for commercial use. For commercial use. And they sell license. They sell license and provide technical support. Technical support. Technical support to their customers. Customers. Some companies develop test tools. Example, HP, IBM, etc. See, some companies develop test tools for commercial use. They sell license and provide technical support. Okay. Advantage of commercial tools. Okay. Before going to discuss advantages and disadvantages, first vendor tool examples. Ritesh, can you tell me vendor tool, test tool examples? Selenium is not vendor tool. Supriya?
Yes, sir.
Can you give one or two examples for vendor tools?
Yes, sir. QTP,
QTP,
load runner.
load runner. Okay. See, HP company, HP, UFT, Unified Functional Testing, formerly QTP. Next, load runner. Next, ALM, Application Lifecycle Management, formerly QC, Quality Center, etc. Next, IBM, RFT, Rational Functional Tester. Next, RPT, Rational Performance Tester, etc. Next, Micro Focus. Earlier Borland, now Micro Focus. Silk Test. This is also old one. Next, Silk Performer, etc. See, these are the important vendor tools. Okay, na, Saloni, vendor tools. Selenium is not a vendor tool. Next, advantages of vendor tools. Can you tell me, Mamata, advantages of vendor tools? What are the advantages by using vendor tools?
So we can get the technical support from them.
Yes, good. Technical support. We can get reliable technical support. Next.
And so we can get all the repository. We can maintain the repository in the commercial tools. We can maintain the repository. In the Selenium, we don't have a repository to maintain, but in QTP we have.
See, in
so that
Selenium
kind of
also, who told in Selenium no object repository? In Selenium also page object model is there. Using page object model you can maintain objects information in a centralized location.
Okay.
Okay, see,
Okay, sir.
vendor, vendor, vendor means, in this scenario, vendor means test tool developer, test tool developer. You know examples. Example, HP, IBM, etc. See, vendor, test tool developer in this scenario. General meaning vendor means manufacturer, industrial products manufacture, but software develops. Okay. See, vendor provides technical support, technical support, reliable technical support. This is the major advantage of vendor tools. Next, new features. New features will work properly, will work properly. Say in open source tools, some new features may not work, but if it is vendor tool, they test several times and release. Just a minute. New features will work properly. Next, vendors update test tools frequently. Vendors update test tools frequently. See, it depends on uh, market requirement. They frequently update their tools. Next, vendor provides sufficient help documentation. See, provides sufficient help documentation. Help documentation. Next, drawbacks or disadvantages. Dilpreet, drawbacks of vendor tools.
They are expensive. We have to pay for their licenses.
License cost. See, one is license cost. Just a minute. License cost. See, we need to purchase license. We need to purchase license. Next, anything else? License cost. Can you tell me, Mrinal?
Yes.
Ah,
Vendor tool supports only few operating system and browsers. Like everything is not supported.
Vendor tool supports some popular operating and browser environments only. They concentrate on popular environments only, not all environments. See, vendor tools support some popular, not all, some popular operating and browser environments only. For example, UFT supports only Microsoft Windows operating environment. It doesn't support Linux environment. See, these are the important drawbacks. See, remember these three things. One is examples. HP, UFT, Load Runner, ALM, IBM, RFT, RPT, Micro Focus, Silk Test for functional testing, Silk Performer for performance testing. Next, advantages, disadvantages or drawbacks. Okay. Okay na Saloni? Vendor tools.
Yes, sir.
Next category, open source tools. Open source tools. Open source tools. See, what is open source tool? Source code available on internet. Anybody can download and use, but no technical support for open source tools. No reliable technical support for from anybody. See, source code available. Source code available on net. Anybody can download. Anybody can download and use. Next, no technical support. No technical support for open source tools. Open source tools. Okay. Ritesh, can you give one or two examples for open source test tools? Ritesh, not responding, Ritesh. Ritesh, what is the problem? You are not responding. And okay, put mute. You try to check your voice device. Can you hear me? Just type the message. Can you hear me? Okay, Ritesh. Okay. At least, okay. You try to rectify the problem at least by tomorrow. Next, one more person is there. What is your good name? Solomone. What is your short name? Can you hear me, Solomone?
Yes.
What is your short name?
Yes. Sulaiman.
Sulena.
Sulaiman.
Pardon?
Sulaiman.
Suleiman.
Yes.
Good. What is your native country?
Ivory Coast.
Okay. Ivory Coast. Africa.
Yeah.
Good. Suleiman. Can you view my desktop, Suleiman?
Yes.
Okay. Put mute. Whenever you want to ask any question, unmute it and again put mute, Suleiman. Ivory Coast. Okay. See examples. Suleiman, can you give one or two examples for open source test tools? Open source test tools.
We have Selenium.
Yes, Selenium open source tool. Any other?
Yeah, we have what else?
Okay, you try to increase the volume at least by next time.
Okay.
Your voice is low. You try to increase. Okay.
Okay.
Dilpreet. Suleiman told Selenium. Yes, Selenium is one of the example for open source test tools. Any other?
Soap UI
Ah.
and Jenkins, JAWS.
Okay.
That's it.
Tell me some popular tools. Okay. Okay, put mute. Selenium. Selenium is mainly used for functional testing. Functional and regression testing. Functional and regression testing. Selenium. Next, JMeter. JMeter for performance. Just a minute. Performance testing. See, Selenium for functional test automation, JMeter for performance test automation. Next, for example, APM for mobile testing. Next, Bugzilla for defect management. Next, issue tracker. Next, problem report tracker, PR tracker for same defect management, etc. Next, advantages, disadvantages. Tell me, Supriya, advantages of open source test tools. Advantages.
No cost.
No cost.
Anybody
Advantage
can
of,
download it and use it.
just a minute. Advantages of open source test tools. One is no license cost.
Yes, sir.
No license cost. Say anybody can download and use. Next, open source tools usually support all popular operating and browser environments. See, open source tools usually support all popular environment, support all popular operating and browser environments. Next, we can modify the source code if required. We can modify the source code. Suppose if our company having development knowledge, we can modify the source code according to our project requirements. If it is vendor code, source code not available, only final product. Next, anything else? Madhavi? Advantages.
I think that's all I have
Okay.
thought about, sir. Modify source code.
Okay. These are the important. Next, disadvantages of open source tools. Continue, Madhavi. Disadvantages. No reliable technical support. First one, no reliable. Here nobody is responsible. If it is vendor tool, vendor is responsible. No reliable technical support. No reliable technical support. This is one.
And we cannot get any new support from the open source.
Pardon?
Any new technology or anything.
See,
we cannot.
No reliable technical support. This is the major drawback of open source tools. Next, new features may not work properly. Some new features may not work properly. Nobody is responsible. Okay. After some modifications, say open source providers also frequently modify the code. After some time, you can get a working feature, but no guarantee. New features may not work properly. May not work properly. May work, may not work. There is no guarantee. Next,
And you won't have any documentation also.
less documentation. See, for open source tools also some documentation available. For example, Selenium official site is seleniumhq.org. From that site you can get some documentation, but insufficient documentation. See, less help documentation. Less help documentation. Next, third category. Observe this one, open source tools. Examples, Selenium, JMeter, IPM, Bugzilla, Issue Tracker, PR Tracker, etc. Advantages, major advantage, no license cost. Disadvantages, major drawback, no reliable technical support. Next, come to third category, in-house tools. In-house tools. Say some companies develop tools, test tools for internal use, not for commercial use, only for the company. Say tools names also local. Say some companies develop tools for private use. See, internal use. See, those tools names also local. Okay. See, for example, Microsoft developed so many tools. Tool names local, not they are not public tools, not commercial tools, private tools. See, Microsoft developed so many test tools for internal use. Next, IBM developed some tools. Say for IBM, some commercial tools, RPT, RFT available, and private tools also. Some private tools also available. Say IBM developed so many tools for internal use. Next, Oracle Corporation. Oracle developed so many tools for internal use. And one local example, see in Hyderabad, Sun Technologies company developed, just a minute, company developed Sun Tracker for defect management, private tool. Okay, say these are the three categories of software test tools. Open source first vendor tools, next open source tools, next in-house tools. Okay na Saloni? Any queries regarding these three topics? Vendor tools, open source tools, and in-house tools.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Next, final types of test automation. Extension of this topic, types of test automation. Here, UFT.
I have one question. Can you tell something about what is SOAP UI and why we use and in which category it comes?
See, we have several tools. We no need to learn. This is general topic. I introduced some important tools. You restrict to these tools only.
Okay.
We have several tools, hundreds of tools, thousands of test tools, open source tools and in-house tools. I introduced popular tools only.
Okay.
UFT. Who asked that question? Mrinal.
Yes.
See, unified functional testing. Unified functional testing, formerly QTP, from HP. Just a minute. Unified functional testing. First, I will introduce functional tools for functional and regression testing. List out the tools, important tools, popular tools. Mrinal, UFT, Unified Functional Testing from HP. Next,
Then Selenium.
Selenium. Selenium is open source. Next.
Rational functional tester.
Yes, good. That is also
IBM.
important one. RFT, rational functional tester. Rational functional tester. Just a minute. From IBM. Next, Silk test. Silk test from Micro Focus. See, these are the important functional and regression test tools. Next, tools for performance testing. Tools for performance testing. Tell me, Supriya, tools for performance testing. What are the popular tools?
Load runner.
Yes, load runner. From HP. Next,
WinRunner.
WinRunner is outdated, and one more thing, WinRunner is functional test tool only, not performance test.
Oh,
WinRunner functional test tool. Nowadays, WinRunner retired, scrapped. Now no WinRunner. Okay. Next, RPT.
PT.
Suleiman, continue.
Rational performance tester.
See, your voice is very low, Suleiman. You try to use headphones at least by tomorrow.
Okay.
RPT from IBM.
IBM.
RPT, Rational Performance Tester. Next, JMeter, open source. Next, Bugzilla open source, but Bugzilla from Mozilla Corporation, but open source. Okay, these are the important performance test tools. Next, test management. Test management tools.
I have some question. What is TestNG then? Is it not used for
test tool? Testing framework.
Okay.
See, I will explain that one. See, later. It's not time. It's not time to discuss TestNG. TestNG is testing framework. That is not test tool. TestNG supports Selenium also. See, it is testing framework. JUnit, TestNG, NUnit, all are testing frameworks. Okay, na? Hello, respond.
Okay.
See, testing framework. TestNG. NG stands for next generation testing framework. It's not test tool. TestNG doesn't recognize objects. Only testing framework, supporting framework. Okay. In next chapter we will discuss TestNG also. But in our training program also we discuss TestNG nearly 6 hours. Okay. Test management tools. Madhavi, give 1 or 2 examples for test management tools. Test management includes defect management.
ALM, sir.
ALM, good. Application lifecycle management from HP. Next, Jira.
Testing.
Jira, etc. Here, test management tools support requirements management, test design, test execution. Next, defect management. Next, some tools only.
And there is one more. There is one more tool called TestLink, sir.
Okay,
that's
so many tools.
That everybody
Yes.
can. Yeah.
So many tools available. Next, defect management. Only defect management. Suleiman, give one or 2 examples for defect management tools.
I would say Bugzilla.
Yes, good. Bugzilla. Bugzilla only for defect management. Bugzilla. Next, Bugzilla open source. Bugzilla from Mozilla Corporation, but open source. Next, issue tracker, PR tracker, etc. Next, tools for mobile testing. Tools for mobile testing. Mrinal, give 1 or 2 examples for mobile testing. Tools for mobile testing.
APM.
APM.
This is the open source.
Yes, open source. Nowadays, that UFT also supporting mobile applications. Latest
Yes,
versions
N2.
updated. Mobile center, UFT mobile center. Next, Selenium. In Selenium also, Selendroid is there. Selendroid. Partial support. Okay. See, come to next topic. See, before moving to next topic, remember 3 categories of software test tools: vendor tools, open source tools, and in-house tools. That is business classification. Next, technical classification: functional and regression test tools, performance test tools, test management tools, defect management tools, mobile testing tools, etc. Our tool is Selenium. Selenium is mainly used for functional and regression testing. Okay? Okay na Saloni?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put mute. Okay. Say, come to next topic. Overview of functional testing. Overview of functional testing. See, general topic. functional testing. Okay, first one, what is functional testing? What is functional testing? Madhavi, what is functional testing?
To verify the components are working
Ah,
as per expected,
okay.
and if it satisfies all the business rules.
Okay, okay. Say, less clarity. Observe my explanation. What is functional testing? Verifying a component or system's functionality with respect to functional requirements. Verifying a component or system's functionality. Observe. Verifying a component or system. See, system has several meanings, but in our scenario, general meaning is system means computer hardware and software. That is general meaning. In our scenario, system means AUT, application under test. See, verifying a component or system's functionality with respect to functional requirements. With respect to functional requirements. Functional requirements. Say, meaning functional testing can be applied on units also. Functional testing can be applied on individual components and on integrated system. Okay, forget about this component functional testing. Our area is system testing. Okay, next, one more important category also there. Functional testing. Next, non-functional testing also there. For example, performance testing is non-functional testing. Reliability testing is non-functional. Next, configuration testing. Next, usability testing. Availability testing. Localization testing. All are non-functional. See, non-functional testing. What is non-functional testing? Verifying quality attributes. Verifying quality attributes. Quality attributes, performance, look and feel, etc. Quality attributes of the system. System means application under test with respect to non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirements. Okay, forget about non-functional testing. Our area is functional testing. Okay, functional testing. Mrinal, can you tell me what is functional testing? Okay, definition we discussed already. Another classification. What is functional testing? I will explain. I will give 4 options. Is it SDLC model or test level or test type or test design technique?
It is a testing technique, like in which we test the functionality of the application.
Mrinal, testing techniques are white box testing techniques, black box testing techniques, and experience based techniques. Suppose in black box testing, just a minute.
Testing types.
In black box testing techniques, equivalent partitioning, boundary value analysis, those are test design techniques. Functional testing is not a test design technique.
No, test design technique I didn't say. It is the test. testing type, one of the testing type.
Test type. First you told na test design technique.
No, test design I didn't.
No. Okay. Test type. Next. Continue, Mrinal. System testing. Same options. Is it SDLC model or test level or test type or test design technique?
It is the one of the level of testing.
Test level. Okay. Test level. Say we conduct functional based on requirements, functional and non-functional, functional and non-functional testing at system testing level. Say we are independent testers. Independent testers, we conduct testing at system testing level. See, basically we have 4 levels of testing. It is out of syllabus. Unit testing, integration testing, next system testing, last one acceptance testing. Say at unit testing, developers are testers. In acceptance testing, end users are testers. In system testing, independent testers like you people. Independent testers are testers. Okay, forget about unit testing, integration testing and acceptance testing. Our area is system testing level. System testing. At system testing level, we conduct functional and non-functional testing. Okay, our Selenium is functional test tool. You restrict to functional testing. Okay, now observe. Functional testing is part of system testing. Okay, but it is not only part of system testing. I will introduce one more term. Observe. Observe, Madhavi. Functional and system testing. Is it correct term or incorrect term?
It's a correct answer.
Why? Functional testing is part of system testing na. Suppose London
Yes.
and UK or Delhi and India. Correct sentence? Delhi and India.
Yes.
No, Delhi is part of
No.
India. Suppose India and Pakistan. Correct. Why? Both are different countries. Delhi and Mumbai, both are different cities. Suppose Delhi and India. No, Delhi is part of India. See here, observe. Functional and system testing. Functional testing is part of system testing. Now I am saying functional and system testing. Is it correct term or incorrect term?
It's incorrect because it's part of system testing.
Part of, but it is correct term only. Okay, why? Functional testing is part of system testing. Okay, but not only part of system testing, it is also part of unit testing, integration testing and acceptance testing. Independent concept. That's why functional and system testing is correct term. Meaning functional testing at system testing level. Observe, Supriya. Any confusion, Supriya? Functional
No, sir.
testing is part of system testing, but not only
Yes, sir.
part of system testing, also part
Is
of
also
unit
part
testing, integration testing and acceptance testing.
Yes, sir.
Here functional and system testing means functional testing at system testing level. See another combinations. See functional, other combinations. Functional and unit testing developers conduct. Next, just a minute. Functional and integration testing. Next, functional and acceptance testing. See, user acceptance testing is subset of acceptance testing. Okay, here 4 combinations. Our Selenium supports, observe, Selenium supports functional and system testing. Actually, this is the sequence. First functional and unit testing, integration testing, next system testing. Our Selenium supports functional and system testing and Suleiman. Any other combination? Selenium supports functional and unit testing. Is Selenium support functional and unit testing?
I would say, yeah, it can be yes.
No. No. You tell me, Madhavi, is Selenium support functional and unit testing? No. Functional and integration testing?
Yes.
No. Mamata,
DDDs can be written in Selenium, right, sir?
pardon?
DDDs can be written in Selenium to execute. Integration level testing
Integration level testing?
can be executed through Selenium.
No.
It supports this, no?
No. See, functional and system testing. Next, functional and acceptance testing. See, end users or customer side people conduct this acceptance testing if required. See, our area is, what is our area, Mrinal?
Functional testing and the regression testing.
This one. In this area, I didn't mention regression testing.
System testing.
Functional and system testing.
So, sir, why we say only like Selenium or any other tool supports functional and regression?
Okay, they are functional tools only, not performance tools.
Okay.
See, particularly developed for that purpose. See, load runner particularly developed for load testing.
Right.
See, no tool supports all types of testing. No tool support all types of testing. Purpose is there. See, our area is functional and system testing. Means functional testing at system testing level. Okay, now these two concepts, Suleiman. Any queries, Suleiman?
No, it's clear.
Okay. See, as part of this one, functional testing, functional. All of you put mute. Functional testing checklist. Okay, we discussed what is functional testing. Verifying a component or system's functionality with respect to functional requirements. And one more thing, functional testing is test type. Okay. Next, what we test in this area of testing? Mamata, functional testing definition okay, and it is test type classification okay. Next, what we test in this area of testing?
So we can provide the input, and in the functional testing we can provide the input and getting expected some output.
Expected some output. Okay, that is input domain coverage. Next. Okay, Dilpreet.
We check if the system is working as per the requirement or not.
In performance testing also we check system is working as per requirements or not. In security testing also we check whether the system is working as per
Basically the
requirements.
functionality. It's
Yes,
basically
functionality.
the functionality.
Yes, your
checking.
functionality. Okay. I will explain. 5 important topics. Concentrate. First one, input domain coverage. See, in functionality testing, 5 important coverages. Input domain testing. Observe Mrinal, I'm saying functionality testing. Functionality. Functionality. What is the difference between functional testing and functionality testing? Supriya, can you tell me difference between functional testing and functionality testing? What we discussed earlier, that is functionality testing, verifying a system's, verifying a component or system's functionality with respect to functionality requirements.
That is functional testing.
See, functionality testing is subset of functional testing. Next, some are saying security testing is non-functional. No, as per industry standards, security testing also, security, just a minute. Security testing also subset of functional testing. See, in functional testing, functionality testing, security testing, these are subsets. In non-functional testing, performance testing, next usability testing, reliability testing, recovery testing, localization testing, internationalization testing, all are subsets. And one more thing, in performance testing also, load testing, stress testing, spike testing, load testing, stress testing, spike testing, all are subsets of performance testing. See, first, input domain coverage. Input domain coverage. See, one of the important area in this functional testing, input domain coverage. What is input domain coverage? Verifying whether system means application under test, is accepting valid inputs or not and preventing invalid inputs or not. See, verifying whether the system, here system means application under test. Verifying whether the system is accepting valid inputs as per requirements. Valid inputs are not, and preventing invalid inputs or not. This is input domain coverage. Say suppose mobile phone number field is there. For example, as per requirements, it has to accept 10-digit numeric values. 10-digit numeric values. If it is 10-digit numeric value, it has to it accepts. Otherwise, it rejects. Observe, data has 3 factors. Data has 3 factors. One is type of the data. Another is size of the data. Next, last one. One more thing also there, I will explain. First, type of the data. Observe, Madhavi, type of the data. Give example for type of data.
It can be numeric or alphanumeric.
Yes, alphabets. Suppose customer name field is there, it has to accept only alphabets. That is alphabets. Suppose phone number field is there or customer ID is there. For example, they have to accept only numeric. Next, user ID field is there. It has to accept alphanumeric, that time combination alphanumeric. Next, alphanumeric and special characters dot, star, etc. Special characters. See, this is general type. If it is technical classification, if you take any programming language or scripting language, technical classification, character type, integer type, double type, boolean means logical result, etc. Anyhow, that I will explain in Java module. Just you restrict to general data types, general types. Next, size of the data. Size, Mrinal, size of the data.
Size of the data means like if it is the name field, we can specify 30 characters or phone number, then 10 numbers.
Suppose phone number 10 digits. Next, name character, suppose 22, 30 digits, etc. This is size of the data. Type of the data, size of the data. One more factor also there. Can you tell me, Mrinal?
Yes, it is the range.
Range of the data. Range of the data.
Like phone number should be between 1 to 9 or name should be.
Say best examples for range of the data. Suppose in insurance applications, suppose 1 lakh policy premium amount, 25 to 30 years of age. Suppose if applicant age is, policy holder age is in between 25 to 30. Suppose 25 to 30 years. Then premium amount is 2000. 30 to 35 years, premium amount is 4000. 35 to 40 years, premium amount is suppose 6000. That is range of the data. Say policy value same 1 lakh policy, but depends on range of the age, premium varies. Okay. Next, in banking applications also, for example, fixed deposits, 1 year to 2 years, interest rate 7%, 2 years to 3 years, 8%, 3 to 5 years, some 10%, like data range. Suppose 41 to 46 days, 4%, 46 days to 179 days, 180 days to 365 days, interest rate 6%. That is range of data. Suppose 1 to 2 years, etc. Suleiman, did you understand these three factors? Type of data, size of data, range of data?
Yes.
Okay. See, this is input domain coverage. See, if we enter valid input, it has to accept. If we enter invalid input, it rejects the input and show meaningful error message. See, some applications show meaningful error message, some applications just reject. And one more thing here, field level validation and form level validation. See, if you enter incorrect data, then field immediately rejects that data. Suppose after entering all mandatory fields, then form submission. That is form level validation. See, okayna, Mamata, input domain coverage.
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes, sir.
any queries? Input domain coverage.
No, sir.
Okay, cool.
No, sir.
Good. Output domain coverage. Output domain coverage. What is output domain coverage? Verifying whether the system is providing correct output or not based on input and process. See, verifying whether the system means application under test, system providing correct output or outcome or not. Output or not as per input and process. Say input plus process equal to output. Just understanding purpose. Input plus process equal to output. For example, input 3, 5. Here process, suppose addition operation, addition, output 8. This is output. In another, these are mathematical values. In another scenario, suppose input username, password. Next process is log into application. Next, application home page. For example, application home page. This is outcome. Mathematical value, output. Okay, you can use output term for both the scenarios, no issue. Mrinal, any confusion? Output domain coverage, verifying whether the system is providing correct output or not.
No.
Correct output or not. Okay. Next, one important area, database testing. Database testing. Say, database testing also independent topic. Why? See, in this scenario, database testing is part of functional testing, but it is not only part of functional testing, also part of performance testing. So database testing is independent topic. We conduct database testing in functional testing, but in performance testing also database testing is there, data volume testing, etc. Okay. Now tell me, Suleiman, what we test in this area of testing, database testing. In this scenario, database testing is subset of functional testing. What we test in this area?
In database testing, we will test whether the data are stored properly in the database.
Store properly. Next.
And whether the queries are working properly. And if we can retrieve properly the data from the database.
Okay, retrievals, data retrievals. Okay, Suleiman.
Yeah.
Okay. Say here important operations are, observe Saloni, important operations are data integrity, data integrity, data integrity. What is data integrity? Say data is correctly storing or not, and in correct places storing or not. Completely, data is completely storing and correctly storing. Completeness and correctness. Completeness and correctness. Suppose I entered uh, 3 fields using front end. 3 fields. Suppose marks, maths, physics, chemistry. Every record having 3 fields. I entered 5 records. 5 into 3, 15 values. Suppose all marks, maths, physics, chemistry, all subjects marks entered correctly. I entered 5 records, each record having 3 fields, 5 into 3, 15 values stored. Completeness. But what about correctness? Suppose maths mark stored in physics cell, physics mark stored in chemistry cell, chemistry mark stored in math cell. All records stored but not in correct places. Suppose if you get total marks, you can get correct total, but if you get math toppers, physics toppers, if you want to retrieve math toppers, physics toppers, or chemistry toppers, you won't get correctly. See, completeness is required and correctness also required. Data completely storing or not and correctly storing or not. Getting this point? Dilpreet, data integrity.
Yes, clear.
Next, data manipulations. Data manipulations. Say we generally manipulate data in real-time applications also based on end users transactions, based on customer transactions or users transactions. Data manipulates. See, data manipulations. Here 3 important operations. Mrinal, what are the 3 important operations for data manipulations?
Adding, deleting,
As
or
add,
updating,
update, and
delete.
delete. Here we have to check addition, updation, deletion operations correctly working or not. Suppose in our database 1000 records are there. If you delete 10 records, next record count is 990. That is checking delete operation. Next addition. Suppose 1000 records are there. After that you entered 10 records. Then latest record count is 1010. That is checking addition operation. Next update. Suppose 1000 records only. You modified 2 records with new data that you have to check. See, data manipulations. Next, data comparisons. Data comparisons. Comparing front-end data with back-end data, or comparing 2 different resources, 2 databases, or 1 database and 1 Excel file, etc. Data comparisons. Next, data, this is not verification, data retrievals. Data retrievals. Say, generally we retrieve specific data. How to retrieve, using SQL commands, we can retrieve specific data. Next, one more thing. Actually, this is not our task. System administrator or network administrator's task. Technical support people task. First 4 testers tasks. Last one system administrator or network administrator task. data backup, data backup and recovery, data backup and recovery operations. See, these are the important operations in database testing. Can you tell me, Saloni, what are the important tasks in database testing? Saloni. Supriya. Supriya.
Yes, sir.
What are the important operations in database testing?
Verifying the data integrity,
Data integrity,
data manipulations,
verifying data manipulations,
data processing, data
data
comparison,
comparisons, next data
and
retrievals,
data
last one
retrieval.
data backup and recovery operations. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes,
next
sir.
another coverage, error handling. Error handling. Here verifying how the system is handling user unauthorized operations and whether it is providing uh, meaningful error messages or not. See, verifying how the system is handling user unauthorized operations, unauthorized or invalid unauthorized operations. Verifying how the system is handling user unauthorized operations. See, it has to prevent it has to prevent unauthorized operations at the same time and provide meaningful meaningful error messages. For example, use login functionality is there. After entering username and password, we can log into system. I entered username and password and submit. Then it is showing invalid username or password. Yes, it is meaningful message. Then we can check our user ID and password and re-enter. Suppose after entering username and password also, after submission, it is showing enter username. Username field should not be blank like message, that is incorrect message. It has to show meaningful messages. Okay na, Saloni?
Yes, sir.
Next, one more first three coverage is important. Input domain coverage, output domain coverage and database testing. First three coverages important. Fourth one, error handling. Fifth one, order of functionalities. Order of functionalities. Order of functionalities. See, verifying whether the system is providing correct order of functionalities with respect to requirements. Correct order of functionalities or not. See, verifying whether the system is providing correct order of correct order of functionalities. Correct order of functionalities or not. For example, Gmail login functionality. What are the steps for Gmail login? First launch Gmail homepage, then enter email address and password, next submit. Then you can get your email homepage. Then you can compose email or delete existing emails or view emails, etc. Suppose I want to compose an email. For that, order of functionalities are I want to compose an email. For that, order of functionalities are first launch the Gmail homepage, next enter email and password, submit, then select compose, then compose email and send. This is the correct order of functionalities. For example, after launching Gmail home, immediately it is showing our email homepage. When you try to compose any email, if you try to compose an email, then it is asking username and password or email address and password. It is not correct order of functionalities. Getting this point, Mrinal?
Yes.
After launching Gmail homepage, entering email address, password and submit, then you can get your email home. Then compose or view email or delete email. Suppose another scenario, after launching Gmail homepage, immediately it is providing your email home. When you try to compose, then it is asking email address and password. That is not correct order of functionalities. See, maintaining correct order of functionalities also one of the important tasks. See, these are the important coverages in functional testing. Can you tell me, Suleiman, what are the important coverages in functional testing? Just names. 5 coverages we discussed. What are the important coverages?
We have input domain,
Input domain coverage,
outputs,
output domain coverage,
database domain coverage,
database testing.
yeah, database testing, and
Next, fourth one, error handling.
error handling.
Last one,
Yeah, and the last one was
order of functionalities.
oh yeah,
Order of functionalities. Concentrate. See, observe, Dilpreet. This is our first chapter in our training program. This is general chapter. General.
Yes.
Actually, it is not related to Selenium. In this first chapter, what is this chapter name? Overview of test automation. In this chapter, we discussed 5 topics. What are the 5 topics?
Advantages of automation testing.
First one, drawbacks of manual maintain the sequence. First one,
drawbacks of manual testing. Advantages of manual testing. Advantages of automation testing. Disadvantages of automation testing. And then
types of software test tools or types of test tools. Next,
types of then it was
overview of functional testing.
Yeah, overview of functional testing.
Overview of functional testing. Okay.
Yeah.
All of you put mute and concentrate. Next chapter, second chapter. Just a minute. Important one. This is also theory chapter. Theory chapter, concentrate. Second chapter, introduction to Selenium. Introduction to Selenium. See, in this chapter, we are going to discuss 10 topics. First, index. First one, same, introduction to, brief, introduction to Selenium, chapter heading and topic heading same. Next, history of the Selenium project. History of the Selenium project. History of the Selenium project. Next, Selenium's tool suite. Selenium is not a single tool like UFT, RFT. Set of tools. Selenium's tool suite. Or you can say Selenium components. Selenium components. Next, fourth topic, platforms supported by Selenium. Platforms supported by Selenium. Next, Selenium license. Selenium is open source, but it has a license, Apache 2 license. What is the purpose of that license? I will explain in that topic. Next, testing frameworks and other tools used in Selenium. Testing frameworks and other tools used in Selenium. Next, just a minute. Selenium environment setup. Selenium environment setup. Next, eighth one, advantages of Selenium. Just a minute. Anyhow, it is theory chapter. In next module, we will start practical. Advantages of Selenium. Next, disadvantages of Selenium. Next, one more topic. Nowadays, in this area of testing, what is this area? Functional and regression testing. Nowadays, in functional and regression testing area, market competitors are UFT and Selenium. UFT is vendor tool, Selenium is open source tool. Remaining tools, limited use, less market. But market competitors in this area, functional and regression testing area, are UFT and Selenium. Okay, I will explain Selenium versus UFT. Why I am focusing on UFT? Why I am comparing Selenium with UFT? Nowadays, Selenium and UFT are market competitors in this area of testing. Okay, see, this is the chapter index. See, first I am taking, today we will discuss this first topic. Tomorrow onwards we will continue. See, first one, all of you concentrate. Introduction to Selenium. Introduction to Selenium. Observe. First one, Selenium is a suite of software tools to automate web browsers. See, Selenium is a suite of software tools to automate web browsers. Try to understand this point. Here two important things. One is suite of software tools. Another is automate web browsers. See, Selenium is not a single tool like UFT, RFT, next Silk test, test complete, test partner, etc. See, UFT, formerly QTP, UFT is single tool, RFT is single tool, Silk test is single tool, supports functional and regression testing. But Selenium is not a single tool. Selenium is a suite of software tools. It's a suite. But we no need to use all tools for any project. You can use one or two tools for our projects. One or two tools or single tool also sufficient. Just a minute. Single tool also sufficient. But just remember, Selenium is not a single tool, suite of tools. Okay, somebody trying to ask. Mamata, continue.
So is it a Selenium is automation tool to automate web browsers or web applications?
Web browser means applications. Web applications open in web browsers na?
Yes sir. Yeah. Yes sir. Yeah.
I thought supports like automatically it supports web applications. See, if any application opens in web browser, then Selenium supports that application.
Yes sir.
See here, browser is primary. Web application. See, you can find computer web application and mobile web application also na?
Yes sir.
In mobile also web apps are there. In a computer environment also applications are there. See, if it is computer web application or mobile web application, Selenium supports. Getting this point? Browser is primary thing.
Yes sir.
If supporting browser means supporting web application. Default. Okay. See here 2 points. One is suite of software tools. Already I told, Selenium is not a single tool, suite of tools. But UFT, another tool for functional and regression testing. UFT is single tool, RFT is single tool, Silk test is single tool. But Selenium is not a single tool, suite of tools. In this suite we have 4 tools. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. But we no need to use all tools for any project. You can use one or two tools for your project. Sometimes single tool also enough. Okay, I will explain what is the purpose of each tool in third topic. What is the third topic? Selenium tool suite and Selenium or Selenium components. Okay. Next, automate web browsers means Selenium supports only web applications. It doesn't support desktop applications. For example, UFT, formerly QTP. UFT supports desktop applications and web applications, but Selenium supports only web applications. Okay na Mamata? This point?
Sir.
Here, did you understand these two concepts? Selenium, first one is Selenium is not a single tool, and Selenium supports only web applications.
Okay.
Okay. Next point. Selenium is open source. See, it is an open source. It is an, just a minute. It is an open source suite of tools. It is an open source suite of tools mainly used for functional and regression testing. See, it is an open source suite. For example, UFT is vendor tool, Silk Test vendor tool, RFT Rational Functional Tester vendor tool. See, Selenium is open source, no license cost. Anybody can download and use. Okay, now this point is Suleiman. Second point. Suleiman,
Yes.
is it okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Next, Selenium. Selenium supports. All of you put mute. Put mute, Suleiman. After answering the question, put mute. Okay. Okay. Selenium supports various operating environments. Various operating environments. For example, Microsoft Windows, next Linux, next Macintosh, etc. See, it supports all popular operating environments. Example, Windows, Linux, Mac. For example, UFT, formerly QTP, Madhavi, UFT supports? What about UFT in case of supporting operating environments? UFT supports only Microsoft Windows. UFT doesn't support Linux, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Selenium supports various operating environments. Windows, Linux, Mac, etc. What is supporting various operating environments? For example, our AUT, application under test, deployed on Windows. You can configure Selenium and test. Suppose our application deployed on Windows, you can use Selenium for testing. Suppose our application deployed on Linux, you can use Selenium. Suppose our application under test deployed on Macintosh, you can use Selenium. For example, UFT, our application on Windows, you can use UFT. Suppose our application on Linux, you cannot use UFT. Okay, now, Dilpreet, this third point.
Yes,
Does
sir,
it
clear.
support mainframe?
Somebody trying to ask me.
Does it support mainframe environment?
Which one?
Selenium.
Selenium, mainframe environment. In mainframe, what browser you use? Browser. Tell me, Saloni, say mainframe environment, AS400 environment. Forget about browser important. Suppose if we use Mozilla or Chrome browser on mainframe in mainframe environment, then you can use Selenium. See, mainframe operating system is OS2. AS400 operating system is AS400. AS400 operating system is OS400. Say, the Selenium is browser based. Suppose if we use Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer on any operating environment, then you can use Selenium. Okay, na?
Okay.
Suppose if you are not using, suppose you are using specialized browser, Selenium may not support that private browser or specialized browser. Suppose popular browsers, if you are using popular browsers, Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, then you can use Selenium. And one more thing, we use suppose Selenium with Java. Java also platform independent. Java works on Unix, Linux, Macintosh, Windows. You can use Selenium. Here browser supporting important, and this one programming supporting important. Say you try to find that browser, if it is mainframe environment or AS400 environment, what is your application? What is the browser? Then you can choose Selenium. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, third point, Selenium supports various operating environments. Next, Selenium supports various browsers. Selenium supports various browsers. It supports all popular browsers. See here, default browser is Mozilla Firefox. Why it is default browser, that we will discuss in Selenium module. Default browser is Mozilla Firefox, and it supports other popular browsers also. What are the other popular? Google Chrome. Actually, nowadays Google Chrome is a popular browser than other browsers in terms of market share. Google Chrome. Next, Microsoft Internet Explorer. Next, Safari, Opera, etc. But first three browsers important: Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. Safari, Opera limited use, less use. More than 90% of market share, these three: Google Chrome, next Mozilla Firefox, IE in third position. First position Google Chrome, second position Mozilla Firefox, third position IE. Okay. Next, and one more thing, Selenium supports various browsers. Then what is the difference between two browsers for executing test cases? We need to write different test cases for different browsers? No. Test case same. Test cases same. Browser driver only varies from one browser to another. Suppose you created 100 test cases in your project. If you want to execute on Google Chrome browser, use Google Chrome browser driver and execute. Mozilla Firefox, create Mozilla Firefox driver and execute. IE browser driver. Getting this point, Mrinal? Test case same for any browser. But what is
Yes.
the varying thing?
The web driver.
Browser driver only varies from one browser to another. If you want to execute tests on Mozilla Firefox, create Firefox driver, Chrome driver, IE driver, but test case is same. All test steps in test cases same. Okay na?
Okay.
Next. Any queries, Madhavi? Fourth point. Selenium supports various
No, sir. I'm
browsers.
good.
Okay. Next. Selenium supports various programming environments to write programs. Here in our scenario, program means test script. See, Selenium supports various programming environments, various programming environments to write programs. See, here in this scenario, program means test script. See, Selenium supports various programming environments to write programs. You can choose any one of the languages and test. Suleiman, can you tell me what are the Selenium supported programming languages?
Okay, we have Java,
Java. Selenium supports Java,
C Sharp,
C Sharp.NET, C Sharp,
Python,
Python,
Perl.
Next,
Yeah. And, what else?
Ruby,
Yeah.
and Hypertext Preprocessor, PHP. See, Selenium supports 6 programming languages. In our training program, we are going to use Java. Why Java? Why can't we use other languages? That we will discuss in Java for Selenium chapter. Nearly 77% testers, Selenium testers using Java. We also use Java in our training program. Okay, but it supports 6 programming languages for writing test scripts. Whereas UFT, formerly QTP, tell me, Supriya, UFT supports?
Yes, sir. VB script.
VB script only. It doesn't support
Yes, sir.
any other programming or scripting language. Only VB script. But Selenium supports 6 programming languages. You can choose any one. In our training program, we will discuss Java. See, in the industry, nearly 77% testers using Java only. See, this is about supporting programming environments. Next, why we use programming in our test cases? What is the purpose of computer programming in our test cases? See, using programming features, we can enhance test cases. Suppose inserting verification points, parameterization, synchronization, adding comments, etc. See, using programming features, we enhance test cases. Okay. And one more thing, programming features won't recognize web elements, means objects. Selenium recognizes objects, but programming features for enhancing test cases. What is enhancing test cases? Inserting verification points, synchronization, parameterization if required. Next, adding comments, error handling, etc. Okay na? Dilpreet, this 5th concept.
Yes, sir.
And here one
Clear.
small note. Any query, Dilpreet?
No queries, sir.
Okay, cool. Here one small note. In Selenium's tool suite, we have 4 tools. Selenium IDE, next Selenium RC, remote control. But Selenium RC is outdated. Nowadays, nobody using Selenium RC. The successor of Selenium RC is Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is powerful tool in Selenium suite. Next, Selenium Grid. Fourth one, Selenium Grid. Okay. Here Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE doesn't support, just a minute. Selenium IDE doesn't support any programming. See, Selenium IDE is just a prototyping tool. You can record and run tests, but it doesn't support any programming. But Selenium RC supports programming. Selenium WebDriver supports programming. What about Selenium Grid? Saloni, what about Selenium Grid?
I don't know, sir.
Mrinal,
The grid support testing of multiple applications at the same time.
testing of the, see grid supports
Multiple
Selenium,
browsers.
grid supports parallel test execution. Okay. See Selenium, say here Selenium Grid. We no need to discuss about programming support for Selenium Grid. Why? Selenium Grid is not for test design. Selenium Grid only for test execution. For example, Selenium IDE, test design and test execution. Selenium RC, test design and test execution. Selenium WebDriver, test design and test execution. But Selenium Grid, no test design, only test execution, parallel test execution. You can execute Selenium RC tests or Selenium WebDriver tests in Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid only for test execution. Getting this point, Suleiman?
Yes.
Here observe this fifth point. Selenium supports various programming environments to write test cases. Okay. Only Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver. What about Selenium IDE? Selenium IDE doesn't support any programming. Next, what about last tool, Selenium Grid? Selenium Grid not for test design, only for test execution. Okay, now Madhavi.
Okay.
Selenium IDE is in use or not?
Pardon?
Selenium IDE, any company or any project use this or not?
No, limited use or no use. Selenium IDE also no use. Only Selenium WebDriver. Selenium RC outdated. Selenium WebDriver, if you have parallel test execution, Selenium Grid. Selenium WebDriver. Selenium IDE also not suitable for complete project automation. Okay, na?
Okay.
Selenium WebDriver. Next, one more point. Selenium supporting testing frameworks. See, testing frameworks used in Selenium. Okay. What is the purpose of testing framework? I will explain. First, observe. If we use Java, then you can use either JUnit or TestNG. If we use Java platform, then supporting frameworks are JUnit, either JUnit or TestNG can be used. Any one, not both. If we use Java with Selenium, then you can use either JUnit or TestNG for JUnit or TestNG as testing framework. Here, what is the role of testing framework? I will explain. Next, if we use C#, then supporting available framework is NUnit. If we use hypertext preprocessor PHP, then supporting frameworks Mink plus Mink. Next, if we use Ruby platform, then supporting testing framework is RSpec. If we use PHP is this Mink is not for PHP. PHP PyUnit. See, for Python, plus Mink. Forget about remaining combinations. You concentrate on this one. Java. If we use Java platform, Java with Selenium, then we can use either JUnit or TestNG testing frameworks. Then what is the role of testing framework? Observe Mridal. JUnit. See, in our training program, we will discuss TestNG. TestNG is advanced framework than JUnit. TestNG inspired by JUnit and implemented some new features. It is advanced one. TestNG. Next, NG stands for next generation. What is the purpose? Earlier, somebody asked TestNG is test tool or not. Who asked?
I asked, sir.
Dilpreet, now tell me what is the role of TestNG in Selenium? If you integrate Selenium, if you integrate TestNG with Selenium, then what is the role of TestNG?
No idea.
No idea. See, observe a role of TestNG. Groups are advantages of TestNG framework, either JUnit or TestNG, but TestNG is advanced testing framework. Grouping test cases. Next, executing test batches, batch testing. Next, parallel test execution also it supports. Parallel test execution. Next, and generating test reports. Say, observe advantage of testing framework, either JUnit or TestNG. Grouping test cases and prioritizing test cases, executing test batches, and generating detailed test reports. Okay na? Dilpreet.
Yes, sir.
But TestNG doesn't recognize objects. Okay, na? Selenium only recognizes
Okay.
objects. Okay.
Okay.
After creating Selenium test case, you can group them and you can execute test batches and generate test reports. Okay, this is framework rule. Anyhow, TestNG chapter takes nearly 6 hours. In that chapter, you can get more clarity and you can implement TestNG framework in your project also, no issue. And one more thing, final conclusion, just a suggestion, try to focus on C. Observe Mrinal, Madhavi, observe, focus on C. One is Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. All of you put mute. Next, Java programming. Next, TestNG. Just a minute. TestNG. Testing framework. You focus on these three things. What is the purpose? I will explain. Selenium WebDriver. Purpose to recognize or identify elements means objects, to recognize or identify elements and perform operations on elements. Observe Madhavi. Suppose Google homepage. In this homepage, Gmail link is there. Gmail link is element or object. First, recognizing this Gmail link is element identification or element recognition. Next, click. Click is operation on that element. Getting these 2 points. Recognizing elements and performing operations on elements. Getting?
Yes, sir.
These two things can be done by Selenium WebDriver. Selenium can recognize elements and perform operations on elements. Suppose edit box, recognizing edit box, that is recognizing element. Next, enter a value into edit box, operation on element. Okay. Okay, na Suleiman, role of Selenium WebDriver.
WebDriver is to recognize or identify elements or objects and perform operations.
On elements. Next, Java programming. Mrinal, what is the role of Java programming in this scenario?
It is used to write the script or enhance the script.
To enhance test cases. Madhavi, can you give some examples? Enhancing test cases. Inserting verification points. Synchronization.
Yeah.
Parameterization. Error handling, etc. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, TestNG framework. We already discussed. Supriya, last question for the day. Testing framework. What is the role of testing framework? Supriya.
Yes, sir.
Just 5 minutes back I explained role of TestNG framework. Saloni,
Yes, sir. Grouping test cases, executing test cases,
yes,
parallel test execution, generating test report.
okay. To group test cases, next execute test batches and generate parallel test execution also, and generate test reports, etc. Say you focus on these three. Okay, na Mrinal?
Okay.
Ah,
Group execute and
I'm going to close the session. Any queries, Suleiman? Any queries?
No, it's clear.
Dilpreet, I'm going to close the session. Any queries?
No, it's clear.
Madhavi?
I'm good, thank you, sir.
Okay. Mamata?
Yes, sir. I have a question. Sir, for C Sharp, other than NUnit, is there any other tool for the better reporting in C Sharp, Selenium?
Nowadays, NUnit are only available.
Okay, sir.
NUnit only available. You can find in seleniumhq.org website also. They mentioned NUnit only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Mrinal. Continue, Mamata.
And one more question, sir. It's a general question. So in real time, if we don't have enough requirement specifications and the functional requirements, and if we cannot find any documentation, how can we test the application? It's a
Exploring
general
the
question.
application. You have to use experience-based techniques if you have less or no documentation.
Okay, sir.
Use experience-based techniques, exploratory testing, error guessing, etc. Mrinal, I'm going to close the session. Mrinal, any queries?
no, sir.
Saloni?
I'm good.
Okay, Supriya?
Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Okay, we will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Thank you.